what a great time to be playing Raid Shadow Legends. We're coming up on the 6th anniversary, and there have been a ton of bonus stuff coming this way for their month-long event, and I've been super happy doing that. And I just wanted to go back over the fusion that is going to be coming here in a couple days. Actually, not that far away. Looks like it's going to be starting on March 10th, and I'm hoping that this will line up with the CVC with the personal rewards around the same time. I'm going to talk a little bit about fusions and why this is something that you should consider doing. I am beyond pumped for this guy. We're going to go over his kit as well because it looks like he's busted and in a good way. Busted in a good way. And the fusion character last year was that really annoying pirate guy. If you've come across him in the arena, you know what I'm talking about. And so this is something that I wouldn't suggest skipping if you're able to do it. And I kind of want to talk about some of the pitfalls and the struggles I've had in fusion events and whether or not you should consider doing it. Also worth noting that right now, if you use the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen, you'll get legendary Karudu Fox Hunter on day 1, Ugo on day 15, which is one of the best epics in the game. If you log in for 7 days, you'll get Alice the Wanderer, amazing legendary, very, very good in arena. And then you have a choice of using promo codes, very important. You can only use one promo code and you got to use it in the first 24 hours. Sun Wukong, which is promo code Monkey King, or, and this is relatively new, they don't normally do this, but this is a Void. So Void is this designation right here, which makes, they're very hard to get. Only can get them in Void shards. Can't get them in the sacred shards or anything like that. And that is Supreme 6. There is some overlap in usefulness between Sun Wukong and Alice. Like they're both very good in arena. Sun Wukong is probably one of my best arena characters outside of Arbiter. But this guy just looks over the top good in Hydra. So if you're more interested in PvE, I would say go this way with the Supreme 6. If you're more interested in arena and PvP content, do Monkey King paired up with Alice. Quite menacing. So let's talk about fusion events. So this was the last fusion event that ran February 10th through February 24th. I actually did not participate in this one. Wasn't going to see the value in this character as much as I do on this character. I got to tell you, this guy looks over the top good, almost busted, and I'm going to be going hard. Now, when is a good time to start doing fusion events? And what are some of the, I got to tell you, they're challenging. To do them free to play is a challenge. So like Kat is going to go for her very first time. My wife, Kat, is going to go for this fusion. And for me, I didn't attempt any fusions until I finished the missions and I finished the Arbiter missions. But I don't think that's necessarily 100% true. I think you can do them before. But I will say that the Arbiter missions and getting through them really set me up to think about doing fusions. Now, the fusions are a whole series of events, and they're all a little bit different. And we don't have a calendar. I'm not really sure exactly how it's going to play out. I'll probably make a video as soon as I see that. But I just wanted to give an example is that there's a series of tournaments and events. There's usually a calendar, and then there is overlap on a lot of the events. And it's important to see the calendar and event in advance. And just for example, in this one right here, you can see there was a Dungeon Divers, right? It's like, well, don't start doing the spider until the Dungeon Divers running. And then Dungeon Divers and the summoning events probably were the most challenging because you have to save up shards, and the Dungeon Drivers is just a slog. So this is a function of saving and hoarding and having resources. So I've kind of done that, and I don't think I'm going to have enough, but you can see here I've got these 300s, these 300s. Some people have thousands of energy. Of course, having a lot of gems is going to be critical for this. And then also having some crystals You can see I've got some sacreds. I'm probably going to open these primals today because there's an event running in another video. But having, these, a lot of people will have thousands of mystery shards, and it's going to be important depending on how the event is structured to get through this. Now, my suggestion is that this guy is worth pursuing. Absolutely. And like last time, I went like halfway through this one, and then I figured out I couldn't finish it. There is like, if you don't get all the shards, they did have like some follow-up offers. Some people in my alliance were able to get the follow-up offers. Other thing worth mentioning is that there is a conversion on these fragments, right? So you've got like all these fragments, and some of these, like you'll see, and I've already converted the SMA ones into these chests, and the chests will give me shards towards mod 23 out of 100. So not as all bad. Like if you start it and don't finish it, there is still like a consolation prize. And actually, this is a character I'm probably just as interested in having as the fusion character. So fusion character looks really, really good. I'm hyped. I'm going to be going for it. And I think if you just started playing Raid Shadow Legends, maybe not do this, but if you're making good progress in Arbiter or you've done one before, I would say absolutely go for it. Cat is going to be going for it. I'm definitely going for it. Let's just go over the kit and why this guy seems very interesting. This is Lord Entertainer Fabian. It's going to be legendary, and I'm hopeful that I will be able to get him without depleting all of my resources, or if I'm going to deplete resources, which is going to be energy, gems, and crystals, that it's done in an efficient manner where I'm getting double dipping, like 2 events happening at once, or double drops, and I'm working towards getting this guy. I love that. Min-maxing is so important, or when clan versus clan is running, right? I mean, as long as everything's happening at the same time, I'm really thrilled to start flushing all of my resources and upping my activity levels in the game. Aura, increased speed ally and 19% in all battles. Kind of a big deal. Then this is where I'm the most interested, is right here. Goes with the most. Whenever an enemy is revised, place a True Fear debuff on the enemy for 2 turns. The reason why that's important is that True Fear basically gives them a 50% chance of them missing their turn. And if they choose to do like their A2 or A3, it goes on full cooldown. So it's kind of a big deal. A lot of teams have full team revives. There's a lot of revive teams. Anyways, if there are multiple champions of team with this skill, the effect will only activate once. Fine. Then this removes any stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, fear, true fear, petrification debuffs from this champion before the start of their turn. So he's not going to be able to be stunned. He's not going to be able to be frozen. He's not going to be able to be slept. He's not going to be able to be provoked. I guess he could be put into the sheep mode, but still, like, this is kind of a thing, because in arena, characters that go quickly and stun the entire team is super annoying. There are counters to this for sure, but I think this is a big, big deal. And I can't wait to get him upgraded and replace, I don't know, I probably replace like Deacon Armstrong or something. I think I really want to use this term. Then this is the A3. Spectral Flourish attacks all enemies before attacking, has a 75% chancing of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs. That's great. Has a 75% chance of increasing the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 3 turns, which is better than ability block. Also, I've noticed that Alice has this. Alice has a ability like here, and that's super useful. And I don't understand the mechanic, and you might correct me in the comment section if you know. That stone skin artifact set, I don't know if it bypasses it, but like you can't place negative effects, but some reason this increasing the cooldowns of enemy skills seems to work. Let me know if I'm right or wrong, but I feel like Alice is super useful against those characters that have that special 9-piece artifact set that ruins my day. And I believe this will as well. Anyways, unwelcome guest. All right, here, hold it. Grants an extra turn if there are no buffs on the enemy team after this attack. Sometimes, if you strip it all away, that'll happen. And then he'll go right into this. Attack one enemy, place a petrification debuff for 1 turn. And that is like a super stun. Now, let's just read it. Champion under petrification debuff will have all of their buffs removed and been able to take their next turn. So it's a super stun. While under a petrification debuff, the champion will be unable to receive buffs and is susceptible to receiving more debuffs. Instant effects do not work on champions under petrification debuff, except for the remove debuff effect. Finally, while under petrification debuff, a champion will only receive 40% of incoming damage. So it's like he's frozen in stone, right? However, incoming damage from bomb debuffs is increased by 300%. So he's like frozen in stone. He's petrified. He takes less damage, but a lot of bad things happen. I make sense, right? I feel like the title of it makes sense. Anyways, a super stun, if you will. Has a 75% chance placing a true fear debuff for 2 turns. And so true fear on the rest of them is like they have a 50% chance of missing their turn. Oh boy. Passive effect activates the skill whenever an enemy under fear or true fear debuff successfully uses a skill. If there are multiple champions on a team with this skill, only one will activate. So this is all just bonkers. Each hit steals 10% of the target's turn meter, places true fear debuff 1 turn if the target's turn meter is fully depleted. And this is on the A1, or what I call a basic attack. There are a lot of characters that send in assists or all the team attacks. Having true fear there seems like a good idea. I think this character is going to be good in waves, in PvP. Not sure. I mean, there may be some case use for him inside of certain bosses, but for me, this looks like a straight PvP character. I'm beyond hyped. Get ready. It's only a couple days away, and hopefully a lot of this stuff for this event lines up around the CVC. I'm expecting the CVC to hit right around the time this starts. If the CVC starts before this starts, I might hold off on the CVC. It's maybe not the Forge stuff, but I want to see this, and then I want to plan around whatever their event calendar. I'm going to plan around it. This is such an important deal, and this looks to be a very, very important character, and I'm beyond hyped for this guy coming to the game. All right, if you haven't done so already, click the link in the description or scan the QR code and use the promo code, one of the 2 promo codes, either Monkey King or Supreme Gallic 6. And basically, you're going to have 3 legendaries out of the gate. And the epic is over the top good. Because in this game, sometimes epics are better than legendaries. Not always. But there are a handful of epics. And the epic that you get for free by using my link is one of them. So, bye for now.